My name's Nick Geraci with Inven Global, and I'm here with G2 jungler Jankos. Thank you so much for speaking to me. You just completely decimated Cloud9. Like, not even close. I think it was like 13K at 18 minutes, right? So, did you guys expect it to be like that easy? And I want to talk to you a bit about like the draft behind that. Like, you guys had so many strange, like just strange flex picks, like more than we even expect from you most of the time, right? So, do you think that that was the reason that you guys won that game so easily?
I think we for sure did catch them off guard with our flex picks. We did send Perk's top lane with Yasuo. That is a good matchup into Nar. We had Nico Gregas bot, which is like a, let's say, one-shot combo where you can just flash on Sona and kill her, and that's what happened. We had Lee Sin to Kindred, which is a good matchup for Lee Sin unless Kindred gets 10 kills. And then we had TF mid lane, and it's caps, right? So I think our draft was good. We didn't really prepare it though. It was just on the fly kind of, if that makes sense. Because I mean, we knew we want to first pick Yasuo, but we didn't. I don't know if we had a draft meeting or not, because I mean, like I went on stage and then I was like, wait, I don't remember us talking about the picks. And then I guess my team did talk about the picks without me. I'm not sure what happened, but anyway, I think our draft was good. I think. Even though you could say we stomped them, I felt like it was hard for them to play the game. So I mean, maybe next time they can play a better game. I'm not really sure how they lost all the lanes, but maybe it was because of the matchups, or maybe my team is just far superior towards them. I don't know, but I mean, it was a fun game nonetheless.
Yeah, it was really exciting to watch. And something that's so interesting about G2 is that you guys can do all this stuff, not just flex picks, but literally switching lanes. Like, how is it that you guys manage to play so much seeming on like feeling and intuition, and yet still stay like so coordinated regardless of the situation or the composition that you're playing?
I think like we have a bunch of good players in our team, and everyone kind of knows the game really well. So I think all the solo laners are like super talented, and like I include Perks in the solo laners
Yeah.
because they can play every champ in the game. So
Right.
that helps us to do the draft. That helps us as well to win those games, and we are open-minded. And since we are open-minded, we are trying all those picks, and then if they work, we can like bring it on stage. So I think we can allow ourselves to do that because, like I mentioned, we have a bunch of talented players, and they are good enough to pull them off.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not just the fact that there's flex picks; it's lane swaps if it's appropriate. Like, it's weird to say because you've been flexible in your career as well, but you're almost like kind of like the straight man of the wacky squad. Like everybody else is playing all this crazy stuff, and you obviously have flexibility in your own right. But like as the jungler who's playing into these three lanes, does that change how you have to prepare? Like, oh, I have to gank for perks in top lane instead of wonder now. Does that kind of change how you approach those types of situations where you're going for those early ganks?
I mean, I think that I don't really care what my team does, and I just play my game. If that makes sense, I know how to play, like what to pathing to take, who do I play around early game, and as long as they listen to what I'm saying, the games will end well. So that's what is kind of happening, as long as they listen to my shot calling, that they will like play accordingly, and then we can make plays together. Obviously, I don't shot call when they kill 2v2 bot because that's just on them, but I mean, I can say that Kindred is pathing to bot and she will queue over the Drake pit to kill you, and you have to be careful. So I mean, I think that as a jungler in G2, I flex picks as well, but normally we give this luxury to our solo laners because they can either counter pick or flex pick, and that's why most of the time I pick jungle early. So I think I played Jarvan so many games in LEC so far.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't really mind it because we are winning, right? So and I also believe it's strong. I believe that having strong solo laners is really impactful.
Yeah, and like you said, you have a lot of talented players, but even long before your time on G2, you've been one of the top EU junglers since back in your Rocket days. Like even when it was just you hard carrying teams with less talent, right? So now that you're on this team with all this kind of talent, and you kind of have to sort of fit into the role that the team requires, do you feel like sometimes that you're not able to be as like flexible as you would want?
No, I don't. I don't care. We are winning. I will not trade it for the past. I mean, I don't really care about the past or the future. I kind of focus on the present. But I mean, it's like back then, even though people could say, "Wow, he's so insane. He's like 1v9 every game." Sure, maybe, but I was not winning back then,
Sure.
and I was for sure a worse player because I mean I know so much more about League of Legends than I knew back then,
Sure.
and maybe my mechanics are not as crisp, or I'm not as flashy, but I know that I'm a better player. And if I would find myself in right now back in the day, if I would be Jankos from now and not from like old Rocket or H2K, I'm pretty sure that I could have like a far greater impact on the team than I had back then. Even though back then maybe I was like getting more kills or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just focusing to be a good addition to my team and playing a good game as well.
Yeah, and this isn't even your final form. I'm sure you have plenty of more things to show us as you guys continue to level up. And G2 rolls Team Liquid in MSI. You guys are the best team in the world now. You show up here, Cloud9 gets destroyed too. Like, do you think that what the dominance that you're showing is something that we can expect from Europe for the rest of this tournament?
I think we'll just try to play our best every game. I just saw Fnatic winning against Team Liquid as well, and I think EU teams are better right now than NA teams. And honestly, I mean, I don't know if we'll dominate every game, but I don't think we will drop a game. And if we do drop a game, I don't think we will lose the tournament. But I mean, everyone kind of knew that before we came here. I felt like both NA fans and EU fans kind of knew that at this moment EU seems like a stronger region. Like every year, I guess. So we will just try our best to play, and it's good experience for both regions because we get international experience, especially for like Origin Fnatic. You know, Nemesis, for example, he didn't really play before, so him getting some experience under Fnatic wins. Even Dan was playing. You know, OG, sure, they are all experienced, but getting additional experience, I guess, on international stage helps as well. So I think that we will take something away from it, and NA teams hopefully will learn too.
Absolutely. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how those games play out. Jankos, I have one last question for you. Last time I met you, you were very excited about trying your first burger. If you were going to tell somebody to come to LA from Europe for the first time, is a burger the first thing that they should eat, or is it a different kind of food? What do you think now that you've been here a couple more times?
I mean, I think that if NA has, I mean, okay, Los Angeles has top chefs from like every cuisine. That's how I feel. I mean, maybe if you come from a place where the dish is from, then maybe they can make it better than in Los Angeles, for example. Wow. But I feel like in Los Angeles, still, like the food is like really top tier. So whatever you like, you can probably have it like taste better here. Unless, let's say, I don't know, you come from Italy and you really like their pizza, and sure, maybe they will you will eat a worse pizza here, right? Because that's where the pizza is from. But I mean, from Italy, but I mean, if you, let's say, like sushi and you eat sushi in Europe, then I'm pretty sure that sushi in LA will be better. So, I mean, I would recommend burgers as long as you like burgers, because if you don't like a dish, then I don't think they will make it so insane that you will suddenly like it. But I mean, for me, every time I come here, I always eat so much food, and I always feel like really big, because I mean, I'm always full, right? In Europe, I try to like not eat as much and I keep line, but in America, I just, when I come here, I know I'm come here for like a week max, so I always let myself eat everything, and I always feel really full. And even before we played Cloud9, I ate so much food. Like there's 2 caterings in the studio, and I went for food to both of them because the food was different, and I just loaded my plate, and I was just like, so yeah, I mean, whew, yeah.
Feeding on NA teams, NA food. Jankos, thanks again for the interview, and we'll see you guys on the next